Hi, this is Thmo with the US stock highlights here on Share Talk for Thursday, the 21st of January. Starting off with a stock which has not exactly been very user-friendly, as you can see from the gap down in August, September, but we've had gaps up since the end of last month, and a third gap here today. Situation is that at least while we're above the floor of the gap at 76 cents, we're looking towards that red June resistance line projection as high as $1.30, hopefully by the end of next month. Really back below the recent swing low there around 55 cents, killing the bull argument or the recovery argument there at Acst. Next up, a stock which is going great guns at the moment. Adtx Therapeutics. Here, in fact, we've already hit a line of resistance from July. That was right on the $6.60 level, let's call it. And view is that at least while we're above $4, which is a previous resistance line projection and a target really from the end of September, then we could retest that $6.60 plus area over the next 4 to 6 weeks, and hopefully rather sooner than that. If we get through the $6.60 area, clearly the upside would then be towards $9 plus, which is last year's resistance, but we have to hold above that $4 level whatever happens. Next situation is one that is looking quite encouraging, or has done, in the sense that we've gapped through neckline resistance for Clsn through the $1, let's call it the floor of the floor of the latest gap at $1.39, and above that on an end of day close basis. We're projecting the shares back up towards the $3 area at that July resistance line projection from last year. Above $3, looking at the bottom of, or rather the top of that gap down in July around the $3.60 level. But the whole bull argument really here relying on $1.39 and the floor of the latest gap remaining unbroken. An investor favorite which continues to inspire is Fubo TV. Here we've got a situation where a little bit of a dance either side of that old peak from December. That was at $32.73, so trading either side of that. But at least while we're above the initial support of this week at $29.52, the shares should be able to retest initial January resistance at 39, well, actually getting that onto $40.40 over the next 2 to 4 weeks, and perhaps even sooner. On to a stock which is looking very constructive indeed, Genetic Technologies, and sounds quite cool too. Here we've seen how the shares have managed to hit the top of a rising trend channel and a target from the beginning of last year around $7. Current situation is that we're hoping that the shares remain above the initial December resistance. In fact, that was a December resistance at $5.24. Above that, on an end of day close basis, we should be able to retest $7 and hopefully even the intraday peak of today at $8.18 over the next month or so. Only back below the latest gap floor at $3.96, really killing the upside scenario on Genetic Technologies. Stock which is also in prime bull mode at the moment. Ideal Power is that's set on the basis of the gap through the resistance. One of the better and more reliable setups, it has to be said. $11.74, that peak from the end of November, and while there's no end of day close back below that, we've got the potential of a move towards the top of a broadening triangle from June last year, currently promising a target at $26 plus, and the time frame on that as soon as the end of March, possibly sooner, but let's go for the end of March at this stage. Early really back below the 50-day moving average, sub $8, killing the bull argument or the recovery argument there at Ideal Power. But that stock sounds as though and looks as though it could be a winner. Naked Brand is next, and one we've followed diligently in recent weeks and months, and quite rightly so, with the bottoming out that we've seen over the last 2 to 3 months. Going up in stages quite well. I think the point to note here really is the way that the initial January resistance of 47 cents has been coming in as a new support. In fact, the bottom of that gap at 42 cents may be a more accurate support area. While there's no end of day close back below that, then we're looking for further upside as high as that June resistance line projection at $1, and the time frame on that as soon as the end of March. Very rampant stock at the moment. One that is definitely worth following is Oncocyte, another gap through resistance situation. Here we've got the top of a rising trend channel from June. That's promising a target of $8 by the end of next month, and the stop loss here, the initial January resistance at $3.68. So above $3.68, looking for $8 by the end of next month on Oncocyte. Stock which is almost impossible to pronounce, Q2 here we've got a gap to the upside through that late November peak at $3.17, and I suppose at least while we're above today's intraday low and that $3.17 area, say around $3.17 to $3.28, we're looking for a move to the top of that rising trend channel from March at $5.05, and by the end of next month, with a bit of luck, hopefully towards $7, which is a March resistance line projection from last year. So really above the low $3 area, looking to $7 by the end of next month. Sunw is the next stock, one which has been aired quite regularly here, and you can see why on the daily chart. Was shot through what was a previous resistance, previous target, in fact, around $10. Current situation is that while we're above the initial highs of this week around $13.95, we should and could head up towards $40 plus by the end of next month, which is the top of a rising September trend channel. If you want to try and tighten up that stop, then $16.52, yesterday's intraday high, would be the level, but I doubt if one could get away with that, probably towards $13 to $14, the stop loss at this stage. Finishing off with a stock which is, I believe, new to this particular sweep, Thmo. Pretty cool sounding name, important sounding company, but what we've got here is a gap to the upside today through the post-November resistance. That was at $2.70. End of day close through $2.70, or end of week close through $2.70 by tomorrow, and we could be looking at the top of a rising trend channel from back in August last year, as high as $4.70, hopefully by the end of next month. This stage only really back below the 50-day moving average at $2.33 would really kill the upside scenario. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.